This is the Omaha Dreams podcast. I am Connor Heilman.
And I'm Brendan Young.
This is our first podcast, so congratulations to us.
Congrats.
I think. Yeah,
Congrats.
Right. We are gonna start today with the current scores of note. Then we will move to rankings. We will move to biggest upsets of the past weekend. Then we will go to weekend performers, Tuesday upsets. There were a couple of Tuesday upsets of note. And then we will move into our weekend preview. After that, we will go into conference predictions, and we're going to do our top 10 teams. Both of us currently don't have a favorite college baseball team. So we're going to note our top 10, and each week we're going to drop about 2 or 3 teams. And by our 5th or 6th episode, we will have our favorite team.
So today's episode is going to look a little bit different than our typical week would look. So because of that, we are going to be, we have to cover what happened this past weekend, what went down and on Tuesday. And we also have to cover what's going to happen this upcoming weekend. And so that's going to look a little bit different than what our normal podcast would look like. Normally, we're going to be releasing every Friday and Tuesday, recording every Thursday and Monday. Those episodes are going to be a little shorter. This one is going to be a little bit longer than usual. So let's get into it.
All right. So for rankings, Texas is still number 1. No surprise there.
Yeah.
They swept Rice last weekend. They outscored them 36-3.
They dominated
them. Some other teams of note: Arizona was number 15. They moved up to number 11. They went 3-0 in the State Farm College Baseball Showdown. Pretty impressive, I think. Right?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Long Beach State moved from 24 to 12. Huge jump. They took a series 2-1 against Mississippi State in Starksville. I think that was one of the biggest series to happen this weekend. Mind blower, I think.
Mississippi State is defending national champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the top teams in the country. They moved from number 4 to number 7, which isn't a huge drop for them, but it
was unexpected, to say the least, especially with it being in Starksville. That's just insane.
Yeah, you don't want to start off the weekend, your opening weekend,
as defending champions, losing that. But oh well, we'll move on.
They'll bounce back for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think they have a strong case to bounce back. Oregon State moved from 18 to 14. They went 4-0 in the Sanderson Ford College Baseball Classic. Go Beavers.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs. Florida dropped from number 9 to 15. They lost a home series against Liberty.
That's big for Liberty.
That is big for Liberty.
Yeah.
They ended up being they were unranked going into the weekend. They are now 21. So go Flames. Texas Tech dropped from 14 to 20. They were in the State Farm College Baseball Showdown 2. They ended up going 1-2. Couple other teams. Maryland moved into the top 25. They're now sitting at number 22. They swept Baylor in a 3-game series in Waco. So big road series win.
Yeah.
East Carolina dropped to number 25. They were sitting at number 12.
Yeah, they get swept.
Yeah, against Bryant. Yeah.
Bryant.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. And then just to wrap up, UC Irvine and Dallas Baptist dropped out of the top 25. So okay, so now we're going to move into our biggest upsets of the past weekend. Do you want to start off?
Yeah, I mean, most of my upsets have already been mentioned. I mean, Bryant sweeping East Carolina is pretty big.
I had that as well.
Yeah, I don't think East Carolina is going to be too greatly affected by that. I think they're the best team in their conference, and they'll be making a regional at least.
Yeah, for sure. I want to give a shout out to Bryant. They absolutely dominated on opening day. They ended up, I think the score on opening day ended up being 10-2.
Yeah, 10-2.
Insane. Then the next 2 games, they won close games, 1-run games. The game on Saturday went into extra innings, and on Sunday they had to win the game in the top of the 9th. So
I think that's a good transition into our top performers of the weekend, because the Bryant pitching staff is actually one of my biggest top performers of the week.
Okay.
So I mean, starting off, which we mentioned before, they start off the season with a sweep of number 12 East Carolina.
Yeah, huge.
Their starters, Colin Lowe, Jared Burrows, and Logan Frazier, combined for 14 innings with only 2 earned runs throughout the whole series, which is big for them.
East Carolina ended up only they scored 9 runs, and you said they gave up what, 2?
Yeah.
So 7 runs came from the bullpen.
Yeah.
So that starting pitching rotation was pretty dominant those 3 days.
And specifically, I want to highlight Jared Burrows. He went 5, only gave up 1 run, no walks, 5 Ks, and the opponent batting average was 150, which is pretty impressive.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my top performers, since you went with pitching, I'm gonna go with pitching. I'm probably gonna butcher this last name, but I'm gonna go for it. His name is Sammy Natara. He is a pitcher for New Mexico State. He's a sophomore.
Who did they play this weekend?
They played Illinois Chicago, so not a very big school, but he was absolutely dominant. He went 7 innings, had 14 Ks, only gave up 1 hit, no base on balls. Insane.
Dude was ready for opening weekend.
Shout out to him. Yeah, he was ready to go. It's not as big of a game, but absolute dominance from him.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. I think we're both gonna have this guy for one of our top performers.
Yeah, Tommy Smokes.
Tommy Tanks. Baby.
Tommy Tanks.
Tommy White, first
Whatever
baseman.
you want to call him.
Yeah, first baseman for NC State, freshman. Right here I have second pitch of his college career. He hit a home run to deep center at Doak Field.
Yeah.
And then he followed that up on his first day in the college with a home run in the 5th and the 8th inning.
Dude had 3 tanks.
3 tanks
in his first game.
Ended up finishing 5 for 6 on it in his first game, 6 RBIs. Over the weekend, he had 14 at bats, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs. That comes to a 643 average.
Yeah, he slugged 1.714.
Yeah, insane. And then
dude was dominating.
Yeah, on Tuesday, they had a game on Tuesday as well. He ended up going 3 for 5 on that with two ribbies.
Yeah,
too.
No home runs this time.
No home runs. He pulled it back in.
Yeah, I mean he set high expectations with the first 3 games.
I'd say so. Yeah. Do you want to go with your next one?
Yeah. So I have Justin Wiskowski. Wiskowski. That could be right. Probably not.
Michael Wiskowski.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
He's a sophomore from Sam Houston. I believe he's an infielder. I want to say a third baseman. This year is his first year at Sam Houston. He's a transfer from Howard College. So Sam Houston this weekend took 3 against 4 off of Nebraska. Nebraska is one of the top teams in the Big Ten, projected by, some experts to win the conference.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, Justin, he was a key factor in the series. He went 7 for 14, he was a run 6 times, had 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, a triple, no strikeouts, and 3 walks. I mean, I can't say it was as dominant as Tommy White, but you have to give a shout out to those teams, those guys on the teams that you're not expecting and not a lot of people know about.
I like that. Yeah. All right. So my last guy was Grant Hussey for West Virginia. He's also a freshman.
Yeah, I saw some clips on Twitter from him.
Yeah, he had a crazy home run. He plays first base and outfield. But his first collegiate hit, grand slam, 3rd inning, put his team up 7-2. Over the course, it's pretty good. Over the course of the weekend, at the beach tournament hosted by Coastal Carolina, he ended up going 6 for 17 with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. So the freshmen are just getting it done, it seems like, so far this season. So far, yeah. I have a couple more freshmen.
At least for those upsets.
Yeah, coming up that I'm going to mention, but looking pretty good for those freshmen.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to talk about this upcoming weekend?
Tuesday upsets real quick. Let's cover that real quick.
Yep.
I can start. Jacksonville upset number 10 Florida State. Jacksonville was home. They ended up beating them 3-2 with the winning run coming in the 6th inning. Tommy Joseph hit a single to right field that would score Jonah Diaz, putting Jacksonville at 4-0 this season. So good start for Jacksonville.
Good start. I want to give I don't know if it's a shout out. I just want to show Arizona, because I was really high on Arizona this season. I thought they were going to do really well. I mean, They started off the season very strong. They win 4 games in the, what's it called? The State Farm
College baseball showdown.
Yeah. So they win 4 against Kansas State, Oklahoma, and Texas Tech, who at the time was ranked 14. This was played at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Ranger Stadium. So they had a great opening weekend. I think they were ranked 14, moved up to 11. Like, things were looking great.
Yeah.
They were trying to get a roll onto this weekend. They play University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. So like, it should be a team that they should be able to handle pretty well.
Yeah.
The game on Tuesday, they're playing Grand Canyon, who's
the Antelopes.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
The Lopes.
Right. The Lopes.
They're playing the Antelopes, who is an intrastate rival. I don't know if they're rivals. They play in the same state.
Yeah.
But you would think that they'd be able to at least keep it close. But this game was a routing from the beginning. They lost 19-3. I think in the first inning, the Grand Canyon scored like 2 or 3 runs, and they just kept it on the gas pedal and just kept it out of reach the whole game, which is pretty obvious.
Yeah. Next game I have is Georgia Southern upset number 19.
That was
Georgia
a big
Tech.
upset.
Yeah. Georgia Southern was the home team. They ended up beating them 10-6. They put the final nails in the coffin with 2 runs being batted in the 8th, I believe. And this is Georgia Southern's first win of the season against number 19 Georgia Tech. That's a pretty huge win.
Do you know who they played opening weekend?
I do not, off the top of my head.
I can check for you.
Okay, perfect. But with that being said, I mean, I feel like that's got to put them on the right course, right?
You'd
For
hope
Georgia
so.
Southern. Yeah. So I mean, we're not going to get to our Sun Belt preview today. That will be a couple episodes later. But maybe a dark horse.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I mean, they also could be one of our favorite teams.
Maybe.
Well, they could be in the top 10.
They could be in the top 10. Yeah. We don't know yet. So, well, Brendan looks at that for me.
They played Tennessee.
Okay. Well, that's another tough draw
Yeah.
to start the season. But then they got it on track, it seemed like.
Apparently, yeah.
So,
I mean, Tennessee and Georgia Tech might be on a little bit different of
a little
a
different.
tier,
Yeah.
but I mean, still,
Tennessee's not ranked, I believe, right?
no, Tennessee's ranked.
Oh, 18.
Yeah.
18, yeah. Okay. Not too much different. They're about the same. Yeah, 18 and 19. So,
But I mean, Tennessee put a spanking on them. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really close.
Yeah.
They scored Georgia Southern scored 3 runs the whole series, and they all came in one game. So
I guess they were saving it up.
Yeah. They were saving up 10 against Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So the other upset that I think is important to note is Sam Houston, who upset number 4 Oklahoma State. That was a very big game for Sam Houston. They won their 4 opening games. Wait, was it 4? I think it might have been 3. Yeah, they won 3 of 4 against Nebraska, which I mentioned earlier. It was very big.
Yeah.
They take down Oklahoma State, who's ranked number 4 last night, which was huge.
Okay.
So the game was pretty slow most of the game. Each team scored 1 run in the 6th inning. That was their first run.
Mm-hmm.
The game goes into extras. In the top of the 10th, Sam Houston scores 5 runs. Yeah.
That's going to be tough to overcome, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, you felt right, because the Cowboys, they did their best, but only scored 2 runs in the 10th.
Okay.
But, that's a big game for
Sam Houston.
Yeah. Let's see how my
absolutely.
guy Wiskowski did. He went 1 for 4 with a walk, and he was a run. So
That's
nothing
not
too
bad.
crazy,
Yeah,
but
not bad.
yeah.
Important.
Yeah.
All right. You want to move into weekend preview?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I think the first game we're going to cover is East Carolina versus UNC. The first two games of the set will be in Chapel Hill. The last game will be in Greensboro.
Yep.
Um,
At least that's what D1 baseball website says.
yes, and that's where we are getting our rankings from, and we have a subscription there, so that's where we're getting
some statistics and stuff like that.
most of our stuff. So shout out to them. So I'm gonna start with my UNC player to watch. His name is Vance Honeycutt. He's a freshman as well. He's a utility player, plays a little bit infield, plays a little bit outfield. So far through 4 games.
What's his name?
Vance Honeycutt.
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 I like that name.
It's nice, right? Through 4 games, he has a 462 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. So
Word.
keep an eye out for him.
My hitter for UNC is going to be Alberto Azuna.
Okay.
He's a transfer from Tennessee Community College, which you're like, how's this guy? It's a player to watch.
Yeah.
So this dude, he's a sophomore. Last year he was the top JUCO hitter in the country.
Okay.
He was National Junior College. He was the NJCAA Player of the Year. He hit 459, 25 home runs, and 107 RBIs in 68 games.
Okay.
Like, dude was carrying.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
Yeah, and I mean, he transfers to a top school in UNC. Like, this dude's a real deal.
Yeah.
I really think that he has a chance to make an impact this weekend. I think UNC is a good team. I think they have a chance maybe to be a regional team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, but let's hold off for that for now. Who's your East Carolina player to watch?
I went with Carson Whisenhunt, and shout out to him because he is he followed us back on Twitter. So he was one of our first probably top 10 followers on Twitter behind our family.
I think we're sitting at 11.
So yeah, maybe he'll make an appearance.
No, maybe
on the podcast. We can get him on for an interview if he's not too busy, which he might be this time of year.
Yeah, this time of year he's probably packed.
But so I'd say look out for him. He didn't make a start opening weekend, which probably could have been a key factor in East Carolina getting swept by Bryant.
Yeah.
So Carson, he is a Golden Spikes preseason watch list. He's listed as the best prospect in the American Conference. He's a probable first-round pick. Lefty, if I didn't already mention, lefty arm.
Lefty.
I think he'll have if he starts this weekend, which hopefully he does. I think he'll have a big impact.
Okay. My guy, I'm gonna butcher this last name too. Alec Markowitz. He's a left fielder. So far through 4 games, he has a 333 average with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. He also has 3 base on balls, so I'm looking for him to get on base, and I'm hoping.
Good eye. He's got a good eye.
He's got a good eye, so I'm hoping he gets on base. And I mean, getting on base is a very important part of baseball, right? You got to get on base, get runs in, and the ECU needs a turnaround, right? They can't. They got to have a big weekend. So,
I mean, how many runs did they score? They scored 9 runs over 3 games. Like 3 runs a game on average isn't going to get it done.
No.
Unless you have A1 pitching staff, which, I mean, I think East Carolina is towards the top end of that conversation.
Especially with Whisenhunt, if he's pitching one of those games, I think that's going to make a world of difference. But with that being said, I am going to take Tar Heels 2-1 in this series. I have them taking the first 2 games at home and then losing in Greensboro.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think East Carolina is going to bounce back.
Yeah,
especially if Whisenhunt, I think that's how you say his name. If he's on the bump, I think they're winning at least 1. And you said the first games in Chapel Hill.
First 2.
Yeah, if he starts in Chapel Hill on Friday night, I think they win that game.
Yeah,
I think he's got an electric arm. I think that he'll be able to get it done for the Pirates.
All right. Well, let's move to our second game for this weekend then. TCU versus Nebraska. This game will be played at Globe Life Field in Arlington, the Ranger Stadium. my TCU player to watch is David Bishop. He's an infielder, another freshman.
You said TCU?
TCU, yep.
Gotcha.
Through 4 games this season, has a 4.29 average with 1 home run and 9 RBIs, and he's also gotten 4 base on balls. So pretty strong weekend for another freshman. So these freshmen are showing out, dude. How about you? Who do you have?
So my TCU pick is going to be Braden Taylor. He's basically the star of the Horned Frogs. So in my notes, I literally have written, dude won so many awards. Like, this guy was a beast last year. So last year, this dude hit. Let me mention the awards first.
Okay.
So he's 2021 first team freshman All-American by D1 Baseball and Perfect Game. He is a 2021 collegiate baseball freshman All-American, Big 12 freshman of the year last year. He makes the second team all Big 12 as a freshman. Big 12 newcomer of the year. I mean, this dude went off.
Yeah.
I want to say he's a third baseman locking down the hot corner. So last year he hit 324, 222 ABs, 222. Yeah.
Like it.
He had 12 homers, 53 RBIs, slugged 572. So, I mean, this guy's going to anchor down that TCU lineup this weekend against Nebraska.
All right. So who's your Nebraska player to watch then?
My Nebraska player is going to be Josh Caron. Ever heard of him?
No.
Yeah, the hardest thing about this process for us right now is we're just kind of getting into the game of knowing college baseball. So we're educating ourselves as well. You guys probably, if you're listening, know a little bit more than we do. So Josh Caron, he's a freshman for Nebraska. He's freshman DH. He showed a lot of potential in the fall league. He is ranked by D1 Baseball as the 4th impact freshman in the Big Ten. So he should be making it. Yeah. He should be making an impact for the Cornhuskers.
All right, my Nebraska player to watch. I'm gonna butcher this too. Leighton Banjoff. I hope I am saying that right. I guarantee I am not though. He's a left fielder.
Banjoff,
I think. Banjoff.
Word. No disrespect. Disrespect.
Through 4 games, he has a 214 average, but he does have a 368 on base percentage. Only has 2 RBIs, has 2 runs, and has gotten 4 base on balls. So looking at that Nebraska lineup over the State Farm College baseball showdown,
it's a mouthful.
Yeah. Not a lot of great performances. It was kind of slim pickings. A little bit. It
was slow.
I'm picking this guy because I'm hoping with those 4 base on balls, it seems like he has a good eye. Hopefully he can get on base, help start some runs for his team. But even with that being said, I'm taking TCU here with the sweep.
With the sweep?
With the sweep.
All right. With the sweep, you think they're that much better?
I think they're that much better. Plus they're in Texas, they got their
I mean, Nebraska's not that much farther away.
Yeah, but
still TCU is right there.
Yeah.
Actually, are they right there? Fort Worth and Arlington, I want to say, are close.
Yeah. Sure. How about you? What do you have in this series?
I want to say this was the hardest pick for me.
Yeah.
I think TCU is favorites for a reason. I think they're a better team. They're obviously ranked in the top 25. Nebraska wasn't even preseason ranked in the top 25.
Nope.
They lose 3 of 4 against Sam Houston. That being said, I think Sam Houston is going to be a good team this year. I think they're a solid team.
Yeah.
So I think either Nebraska, it could be a combination of 2 things. It could be Nebraska didn't show up because they had low expectations for Sam Houston, or Sam Houston was just like came out
going balls to the wall.
yeah, like
Yeah. They were ready.
they came out hot.
They weren't playing.
So that being said, I think I'm just gonna go with Nebraska winning.
You're going Nebraska.
Yeah.
Are you taking sweep 2-1? What do you think?
It ain't gonna be a sweep.
Man,
It's
so
gonna be some close games. I'm hoping.
All right.
I'm hoping.
All right. So then we will move into the Carbach Round Rock Classic.
If that's how you say it.
I hope so. Taking place, and this is going to be number 2 Arkansas, number 6 Stanford, Indiana, and Louisiana. I'm taking Arkansas here. I feel like I'm just going to take the favorite. I'm taking Arkansas.
Yeah.
My player to watch for Arkansas is second baseman Robert Moore. Through 3 games this season, has a 364 average with 1 home runs and 3 RBIs.
1 home runs.
1 home run. Jeez. 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and he has 3 doubles. So that's my player to watch for that series.
I mean, obviously Arkansas is the best team. I think they have potential to sweep the series. I think they have potential
to win all the games.
Yeah. It might not happen. I think they'll beat Indiana and they'll beat Louisiana, just Louisiana, not Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah.
The Raging Cajuns.
Raging Cajuns. So I think they'll win the weekend, but I really want to look out for the Raging Cajuns because I think they're a good team. I think the Raging Cajuns also have a chance to go 3-1.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to sweep the series. So the Raging Cajuns, opening weekend, they took 2 of 3 against UC Irvine. So they're the reason.
Irvine's a pretty good baseball school.
They're the reason why they dropped out of the top 25. So
are they're the anteaters, right?
UC Irvine?
I think so. I'll look that up for you. You keep going ahead.
Yeah, but I just think I think he'll be the best. I mean, they have Tyler Robertson returning, big slugger. They add DeBarge, who's a transfer, but I think the key to this, one of the key players for the Raging Cajuns is senior closer Brian Talley. This dude is dominant out of the pen.
Okay.
What did PETA want baseball to call
the arm barn?
The arm barn.
The arm barn,
Yeah.
baby.
So they
which I think it should be the arm barn.
Arm barn is sick.
It's
but
sick.
But bullpen is also pretty sick.
It's a classic.
Yeah. You can use both. But anyways, so last year he made 27 appearances, 34 innings pitched, recorded a 1.59 ERA.
That's
pretty
filthy.
So I think if Louisiana can get to the end of the game and get a lead
keep
for
it
the
close.
keep a lead or get a lead or keep it close, I think Talley will be able to shut it down.
All right, right on. 2 other series we're gonna just tell you to keep an eye out for. Alabama and Texas. For me, I think Texas will take the series 2-1.
Yeah, Texas is
the better team. I think
Texas is the best team in the country.
Right now. I'm rooting for Alabama. I'm hoping they can steal one. I don't know if it will happen, but I'm gonna root for the Crimson Tide. Yeah,
I think Alabama last year caught fire. They made the
regionals.
Yeah, they made regionals last year. Right. I think they lost a few key players. I just don't know what their capabilities are this year. So I expect Texas to dominate again this weekend.
And then the other series we're going to keep an eye on is Duke and Baylor. Give me the Duke sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah? You like that too?
I like Duke sweep.
All right. We're going to move.
Oh, wait. Back to Texas and Alabama?
Yeah.
You said they're taking it 2-1?
Yeah, I'm rooting for an Alabama upset.
You think Alabama's going to?
No. I think Texas is going to take it 2-1. I'm hoping Alabama steals a game.
A game. Just one.
Yeah,
it could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen.
All right. So now we're going to move into our conference previews. Today we're going to cover the America East, American, Atlantic 10, and the ACC. Let's start with America East. I'm going to take New Jersey Tech. My pick would be Stony Brook, but they're not going to be eligible for the 2022 America East tournament due to the fact that they're going to be joining the Colonial.
I'm still confused.
So I think what happened here is that it was kind of a last minute thing. It seems like that Stony Brook told them at last minute that, hey, we're going to join this new conference in fall of 2022. And Stony Brook, I don't think can compete even in basketball. Like they can't do any tournaments. Yeah, they're washed.
That's crazy.
Which kind of sucks for them. But
yeah, especially because how much that's going to impact players so much. Like that has,
especially for like a smaller conference like that, right?
Yeah,
those games can be huge for some players.
Yeah, exactly. And that's some of these guys, especially at a smaller program, are going to be 4-year players.
Yeah.
These guys could be
5 years players.
Yeah, they could be out of the door next year, and just because the conference wants to move, they get screwed basically.
Yeah. But with that being said, I'm picking New Jersey Tech. They made regionals last year. I think they return a good number of players. Anything of note for you from that side? I don't know who you have, but
that's who I have too. Okay. I mean, I'm on the same boat as you. I would have picked Stony Brook.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I'd say that.
No?
Yeah, I might have picked New Jersey Tech.
Okay.
Shout out Dirty Jurors. But I don't know. But they're obviously going to win it this year without Stony Brook competing.
Yeah.
I think they have a great pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ryan Fisher, who pitched their regional last year.
Yeah.
He threw over the whole season. He had 81 innings pitched, 14 starts, 2.64 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude's a stud.
Yeah, he was a second team All-America East player. Along with that, he also had 53 Ks, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
81.2. I also, for another player note for me, I had Jake Rappaport. I'm wondering if he's related to Ian Rappaport. I don't know what the connection is.
Michael Rappaport?
Is that who it is?
I don't know. Well, Ian Rappaport is, I want to say he's an NFL reporter.
Yeah, so.
It could be both.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they're both his dad.
Maybe. Jake Rappaport, though, he's a closer, it seems like. 5th-year player. He was a first-team all-regional player. Through 28 appearances, he had a 3.63 ERA over 52 innings pitched. 11 of those 28 appearances were saves, and he ended up with 35 Ks. So I think that's going to be an important part of that back lineup, or back part of that back part of games. Mm-hmm. So
I also have noted Julio Marcano.
Okay.
He's a graduate student right now, infielder. He is 2nd team all regional, 1st team All America East. He led the team in a few offensive categories.
Okay.
He had the highest batting average last year at 322, 10 homers, and then he had this the New Jersey Tech website says he had a critical home run late against Albany to tie the game in the America East tournament.
Oh, nice.
Which they would eventually go on to win. But I mean, this dude is going to be a key part of their lineup, I think, in my opinion.
Nice. Another player I have is Albert Choi. He's an outfielder.
Yeah, I have him too.
He's technically a junior. Last year though, he did win the American East Conference Rookie of the Year. And from my understanding, it's because of COVID that he was able to win that. So technically, I think it's with all collegiate players they're granted another year of eligibility because of COVID.
Gotcha.
So I think that's how he ended up winning the Rookie of the Year.
Like the Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's kind of no, but shout out to him though. He seems like a solid player. Through 51 games, he had a 311 with 6 home runs and 36 RBIs. So the dude was raking.
Yeah, those two guys, I think Julio Marcano and Choi were the 2 biggest keys to their lineup last year.
Yeah, and I think
especially offensively.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna come into play this year again for sure. Okay. Anyone else?
No, that's all I got.
All right, sweet. Let's move to the American. Do you want to go first this time? I'll let you start off.
Yeah, word. I like East Carolina a lot.
That's also who I have.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know I don't know who else is going to compete with them
Yeah,
in the American. I think they're the best team.
Yep.
I don't know if there's any team that's really even close.
Yeah. They've made it to 3 straight regionals. They're going to be able to hit the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
And they have a strong defense and strong pitching play to go with that. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard to dethrone them of that.
Yeah.
I think-
Specifically Carson
Yeah.
Huth.
Yeah, that's one of my players of note. He's a sophomore. Like you said earlier, projected first round pick. He's currently rated the 9th prospect in the 2022 draft.
Yeah. College players at least.
Yeah, college players.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about him. He's one
Yeah.
of the best.
We already covered that. So
Yeah. I think I have listed of note that he's like the second best lefty prospect in the draft. So I mean, lefty arms are key to a lot of teams' drafts.
Yeah.
Like, you want to look out for lefty arms, and I think he could be one of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the Braves will take him.
Maybe. I don't think they're gonna pick that early though, right?
No.
Unless it falls. Hopefully it doesn't fall. We're rooting for him.
Yeah. Shout out.
Another player of note I have is Josh Moylan. He is a 2022 Bobby Bragin Award nominee candidate.
What's that award for?
That is the most outstanding offensive player. He's the 58th ranked prospect in the 2023 draft for college players.
For right now.
Yeah.
What's this guy's name?
Josh Moylan.
Josh Moylan.
Moylan, yeah.
I'll have to check him out.
Through 59 games, he had a 310 average, had 6 home runs and 38 RBIs as well. So, pretty good player. Yeah.
My other player is going to be CJ Mayhew. He's one of the relievers for the East Carolina staff. So he's listed right now as the 12th best prospect in the American for the 2022 MLB draft. I mean, this guy, he anchored the back of their bullpen.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if he's back of the bullpen. He's definitely a reliever.
Okay.
But I mean, this
Maybe
dude,
set up.
yeah, he had a great few seasons, or a great season last year. He 3.06 ERA, 50 innings pitched. I mean, as a reliever, you're looking for somebody to hold it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he threw a lot of innings.
Yeah. And then I mentioned him earlier, Alec Markowitz, utility man. He was actually a preseason selection for the American as utility man.
Word.
Through 58 games last year, he had a 295 average with 6 home runs and 33 RBIs. So that rounds out my players of note. I don't know if you have anyone else.
Yeah, I have one more. It's going to be Elaine Hoover. He's more of a low-key kind of guy in the East Carolina lineup.
I remember reading up about him.
Yeah, he's an outfielder. Last year, he kind of had a down season. Last year, he hit 252, slugged 282. So it was so his freshman year, he hit 328. I mean, he was balling out.
Yeah.
Last year, he had a down year. I think this year he's gonna show out.
Bounce back year.
Yeah, I think he'll do a great job. He's got a sweet swing. I checked out his swing.
Yeah.
Batting from the left side, quick swing, short to the ball, can put it where he wants. I think he'll have a bounce back year.
Awesome. All right, let's move the Atlantic 10. My pick for the Atlantic 10 is St. Joseph's. I don't understand why you're laughing. That's my pick, man. They return their whole starting 9 along with all their weekend rotation. So they're returning players. All right. So I think the players of note for me. Do you have someone different before I start my players of note? I'm assuming by your laugh you do.
Yeah, VCU.
Okay,
VCU
I'll do mine real quick. My players of note. First one's going to be Andrew Cassetti. He's a catcher. He's also a senior. He was the 2021 American Baseball Coaches Association All East Region team. He made that. So that's pretty high praise. Through 39 games, he had a 318 average, 16 home runs through 39 games, and he had 34 RBIs. He was crushing. My next guy is Brendan Huth. So shout out.
Yeah, nice name. Yeah, nice name.
He's an outfielder. He's a graduate student. He was a 2021 Atlantic 10 All Conference First Team player. Through 37 games, he had a 375 average with 3 home runs and 25 RBI. So not as much power, but he was all over the ball, man. 375. That's real close to 400. I mean, that's really good.
Some might say it's 3/4 of the way.
Yeah, I think some might say that. And then my last guy is Luke Smith. He's going to be a starting pitcher this year. He's a senior. He started last year as a reliever, but he earned a starting role towards the back end of the season. Through 9 appearances, he had a 1.31 ERA, so pretty filthy. He had 19 Ks over 20.1 innings pitched, so almost a strikeout per inning, which is pretty solid, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear about VCU.
I mean, VCU historically is the best team in this conference.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think that St. Joseph's has a lot of great young potential. They've been bringing in quite a few good young recruiting classes.
Yeah, and I think for me, right, with them returning a lot of their guys, that's the depth is going to be that's going to play a key role if anyone goes down or just getting guys in for pitch hitting and stuff like that. But go ahead, so I'd cut you off there.
All good. I just don't think they're as good as VCU.
Okay.
Specifically because of Tyler Locklear. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Tyler Locklear. That sounds familiar.
I want to say he's a third baseman for the Rams.
Okay.
Let me read you. Actually, he's a redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
I'll read off to you his accolades just before this year.
Okay.
This is actually, you know what? I'll read off his other stats. Golden Spikes Award preseason watch list. So,
top tier.
Yeah. Best that's an award for best player, basically.
Yeah.
D1 baseball first team preseason All-American. Last year he is a ABCA first team All-American. I mean, this dude's a stud. He went off last year.
Yeah.
Let me read this off to you. He had 333. He had no, that's this year so far. He hit 334. He had 16 home runs, 66 RBIs. He slugged 686. I mean, this guy is one of the best. He's the best player in the conference. And then not only that, they have a lot of great returning players. I don't think they lost a lot. They were a regional team last year. I just don't think I think they'll hold on to it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
No, that's all I want to talk about. Because he's
That's
the man of the conference. You know what I mean?
I hear you. All right. So let's move to ACC. We're going to start with the Atlantic side. I think we probably both have the same team here. I have North Carolina State. They made it to the semifinals last year.
Of the College World Series.
Of the College World Series. Yes, to be clear.
Yeah. We all know what happened there. I mean, their season got cut short because of COVID. I mean, this team is going to be motivated.
Yeah.
They got
some talent, to say the least.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start with this guy, Devonta Brown. Absolutely nasty in the field.
Yeah.
Nasty fielder. I mean, he hits pretty well too. Through 56 games, he had a 252 average, so not great, but he had 13 home runs and 40 ribbies. So
solid.
That makes up for it.
Yeah.
And especially kind of like Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
Little Red Sox reference there. Not the best hitter out there, but if you're making up with fielding play, I mean, you can't. Yeah. That's hard to.
You produce so much in the field that it makes up for the bat.
Absolutely. And it's still good. 250, that's a great bat still.
Yeah.
1 out of 4 times, I'll take that every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's sufficient.
Yeah. He's got some speed too. So that's speed around the base pass.
Yeah. I want to highlight their pitching staff, who I think is one of the strongest suits of their team.
Yeah.
Strongest aspects of their team. Sam Highfill.
I have him as well.
Yeah. Matt Willardson and Chris Villeman. I mean, they have their Friday, Saturday, Sunday set.
Their weekend rotation is
their weekend rotation is set. Like
I would say it's probably one of the top ones.
Yeah.
Top weekend rotations in the game.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think a few of those guys are going to be, top tier picks in the draft.
Yeah.
They're all going to get drafted
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, Sam Highfield. He's the 52 ranked prospect in the 2022 college draft. So I mean, I'm sure that's gonna move up. Also, I don't know if you knew this little nugget for you. He went 3 for 4 last year with hitting. So maybe
can swing it,
maybe
too.
he should be hitting.
We'll call the coach. He's the coach.
Yeah, I think that pitching staff's absolutely filled.
Yeah.
So
They didn't lose. Did they lose anybody crazy in the draft? I want to say they lost somebody.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah. But so that being said, I think not only did they, I don't think they lost a lot, but they brought in some pretty important players.
One of which, who's my
We
last
mentioned
player of
earlier.
note, is Tommy White, who
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier. He was the seventh incoming freshman for the ACC, which is insane because I think he's one of the top 2 or 3 incoming freshmen probably
Yeah.
after this past weekend. I mean, it's a long season, so it'll be.
Yeah.
We'll
Let's
see,
see if
but-
he can keep it up.
Yeah,
Like we said,
the
his
dude's a
ex-
unit.
I
He's
yeah.
6 foot 242.
He's built like a house.
Yes. He won the Under Armour home run derby last year too, as
Like,
as a
as
high school player.
senior?
Yeah. So he's got some power, which he displayed this past weekend.
Word.
Um.
I want to mention another player.
Okay.
His name is listed as Lou James Groover the third.
Okay. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, D1 baseball just called him Gino Groover, which
Okay.
I think is a cooler name. No offense. That was kind of messed up. I shouldn't have said that.
Cut that.
So last year, so he's a transfer in, so he's a sophomore this year
Okay. Do you know where he transferred
from Charlotte.
Okay. The 49ers.
Yeah. So he last year hit 351. I don't want to say he's a big power guy. Yeah, he only had 4 home runs over 188 at bats, but I mean 351 over the course of those at bats. I mean, he's putting the ball in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he'll be a player to watch for the Wolfpack. I think
Alright.
he'll be a good addition to the team.
Absolutely. All right. So let's dive into the coastal then. I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. You want me to go pick?
Yeah, let me hear your pick.
I'm going with Miami.
Okay, so you just go. You roll because I have someone different.
Okay, word. So let me go back to my notes over here. So Miami is a phenomenal hitting team. They're a great offensive team, led by their catcher Max Romero, who had a phenomenal season last year. He hit 300. His slash line was 300, 425, 620. Let's see how many homers he hit and how many RBIs. He hit. He's a transfer actually last year.
Okay.
He played at Vandy last year.
Oh yeah, Vandy. How's Vandy? Pretty good, right?
I think they're good. Yeah.
They're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. He played in 21 games, had 15 hits, 300 average, like I said earlier. Coming into a sophomore season and with a little more playing time, I think he'll take even larger leaps in his offensive game.
Okay.
At least, actually, he's a junior. Sorry, but I think he's going to be a key addition to this Hurricane team. The only question mark that has a lot of people hesitant on giving them a preseason ranking, which they started at 25, they're ranked 24 now, was a few of their injuries that they had, which was to some of their arms. They just have a couple of guys coming off injuries that need to perform and show up for them to be one of those top teams.
Okay.
I think that they are, they're going to hit the ball all around the park. They're going to put it over the fence. That's not the thing I'm worried about. The thing is their arms, and one of them is going to be Alejandro Rosario and Carson Palmquist. So Palmquist last year had a 2.22 ERA over 44 innings. His stuff isn't, going to blow you out of the water.
Yeah.
But he knows what he's doing up there on the bump. He can put it where he wants. Another pitcher they have the other pitcher that I listed was Rosario, who has outstanding stuff, but he struggled a little bit last year with a 5.21 ERA over 65.2 innings.
Okay.
So they need him to bounce back, which I think he'll be able to do with, a little bit of experience. He was a freshman last year.
Okay.
So I think he's got electric stuff. Like he's hitting upper 90s with his fastball.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, I had Duke.
Yeah.
Duke.
I like Duke.
You like
Yeah.
Duke? All right. Well, they've made 3 straight regionals. Very strong pitching rotation.
They won the ACC last year.
Mm-hmm. And the problem here is going to be the younger players on this team are going to have to step up and fill that role.
Mhm.
But they have a lot of top incoming freshmen, 3 of which are probably going to play in the starting 9 every day. So
Mhm.
those players are going to have to step up, but I think they're going to do it. One of their strengths, like I said, was pitching. So their 1-2 punch is Marcus Johnson and Luke Fox. Both these guys are pretty filthy.
Mhm.
Marcus Johnson, giant.
This is arms or in the
arms.
lineup?
This is
Okay.
arms. Yeah. So he's a junior pitcher, 6'6". Dude is ginormous.
He's a giraffe.
I'd be looking at him like that. Like it's insane. He's ranked number 43 in the 2022 college baseball draft. Through 30 appearances last year, he had a 3.05 ERA with 59 Ks over 56 innings pitched. Pretty filthy.
Mhm.
And then Luke Fox, he is.
I think I saw a few things about people mentioning him.
Yeah, he's pretty filthy. He's a sophomore, second team freshman, All-American by D1 last year.
Mhm.
He's 24th ranked in the 2023 college baseball draft. Appeared in 20 games. He only started 9 of them, but he did have a 3.05 ERA with 76 Ks over 56 innings pitched.
That's impressive.
So this guy has some nasty
He's
stuff.
getting 1 an inning.
Yeah, he has some nasty stuff. So I think those 2 guys are going to make a huge difference over the course of this season.
Mhm.
I'm assuming those are the Friday, Saturday guys, or
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, whatever that may be.
They're going to be on every weekend.
Yes. So look out for them every weekend. Those are some.
What are their names again?
Marcus Johnson and Luke Fox. Yeah. And then the last guy I have here is one of the freshmen that are coming in. He's supposed to be playing shortstop.
Mhm.
His name is Alec Mooney. He was the 12th overall player in the 2021 class, the 5th overall shortstop.
Impressive.
He was Mr. Michigan. He is the top.
Congrats.
He's the top ACC incoming freshman, and over his senior year of high school, he hit 460 with 9 home runs and 57 RBIs over 44 games.
Slight work.
Yeah, slight work. So, like I said, I think this team is a great team. They're going to have to rely, though, on these younger players to step up
Mhm.
in the lineup and make a difference
Yeah.
day to day. Their pitching is going to get it done, it looks like. So it's going to rely on these younger players. But I think over the course of the season, they'll get a groove. They'll figure out the college game and they'll just start raking. And I think that'll push them to the top of the coastal.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're ranked 23rd. So your pick is right now currently ranked 23rd.
yeah.
Mine is ranked 24th.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, neither of those teams are considered the top team in their division.
yeah.
Who would be the top team in that
It
division?
is Georgia Tech right now, I believe, because I think, well, NC State's at 9, Florida State's 10. They're in the same division, and Notre Dame, who's 13th, is in that division too, I
Yeah,
think.
and there was no way I was picking Notre Dame.
Yeah, I couldn't pick Notre Dame. And Florida State, I mean, honestly, looking at Florida State before the upset, I think changed it for me. I think Florida State's pretty nasty. I don't think they have a chance to upset. Like they can't. I don't think they'll get over NC State. I think NC State is going to be hungry this year.
Yeah, I mean, after
gonna
what
push.
happened to them
Yeah.
last year, they're motivated.
Yeah.
They're going to want to be
Yeah,
in the same spot they were last year when they
Yeah. And
They got kicked out.
I think we
basically.
should explain that a little bit more. So basically what happened last year was they made it to the semifinals and then they had a ton of COVID cases, right?
Yeah, I want to say at least half.
Yeah. And I think they got pretty beat up on in the semifinal
Yeah.
by eventual championship winner Mississippi State. But
Mhm. Actually, I think it was Vandy they lost to.
did they lose to Vandy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I want to say I saw a stat that their last 4 lineup spots were filled by the last 4 guys on their roster. Like
Yeah.
they were pretty depleted at that point.
Yeah.
They played, but
yeah, it wasn't the A team.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes our conference previews for this week. We'll do 4 more again next week.
Yeah, 3 or 4, something around there.
Yeah. And we will do that for a couple weeks until conference play starts, which I believe is like the second weekend of March. So let's finish up with our top 10 teams of who we might pick for our favorite team.
Yeah. This might be the most important segment.
Yeah. Neither one of us have a top team so far. With us just getting into it. So we're gonna.
We went to Penn State. Like Penn State's always got our heart.
Yeah, but they're not the best baseball school.
No, not.
They're not terrible though. Shout out State.
We are.
You want to start? Let's hear your 10.
10? Or you? I think we should.
You want to go back and forth?
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Okay.
All right. So, first team I got listed, Oklahoma State.
Okay, I don't have them.
All right. Well, I mean, it's kind of they're one of the top teams in the country right now.
Yeah.
That's not one of the reasons why I'm picking them.
Are you saying bandwagon possibly?
Possibly, but that's not the reason I want to pick them. The reason I want to pick them is I like their mascot, the Cowboys. Yeah. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
The colors, orange and black.
Yeah, that's a nice color scheme.
I like the colors. The colors. I think they got something to prove.
Okay. All right. I like that pick.
Yeah.
Sticking with that. Oh wait, no, I don't have them on here anymore. I switched. Well, that is awkward. All right. Well, I'm gonna start with the first. This is not in no order. This is just how I have them.
That's the same with me. I just threw them down on the list.
Penn State is in my top 10.
Yeah, they're on my top 10
for obvious reasons. So that's all right. So then my next one's gonna be Arkansas, which I guess you can say is a bandwagon pick too.
Yeah, coming at me.
Yeah. I love their cream uniforms. They're dirty with the old A.
The cream.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop. Also saying Suey would be sick. That sounds fun. And Baum Walker Stadium at George Cole Field, beautiful stadium. So that's kind of why I just
couldn't bring myself to pick the number 2 team.
Well, I didn't pick them yet.
I couldn't even list them, but I mean, I also picked Oklahoma State, who's number 4.
All right. Back to you.
So along with the mascot theme that I mentioned earlier, Long Beach State has to be in my top 10.
Okay, so that's one of mine too.
Yeah, I mean the dirt bags.
Yeah, so that's not their official nickname.
Like
it's the unofficial.
Listed. Yeah, it's like the baseball team name.
Yeah, it's pretty. And they have some nice jerseys too.
Yeah,
the merch. I don't know if you've looked up the merchandise, but the merchandise is pretty funny. So
I'll have to check it out. Yeah. I mean, I could be rocking one of them.
I feel like I might be rocking one of them too. I think they're one of my. I don't want to give it away, but I think they're one of my top 2 teams.
I agree with you, just based on name.
Yeah. I also have NC State.
Dude, what's up with you and these?
I don't know. I love the Wolf Pack, baby. All right, and I think they have something to prove. I like that. So
plus Tommy Tanks.
He's won my heart already.
I'm gonna go. My next pick is gonna be Arizona.
Okay.
I know I mentioned them a few times already.
I also have Arizona.
I like them a lot. I think their stadium is beautiful.
Yeah, I love their uniforms.
Yeah, I like their uniforms too. Colors, blue and red, white, and blue, really.
America.
I have family that lives in Tucson. I have family that lives in Phoenix. You know, Arizona is always part of me.
Yep.
I think they're an exciting team. They have a rookie head coach. Yeah, I mean, they're a team that I'm looking at.
Right on. For me, another one is going to be Arizona State, the Sun Devils, sticking in the state of Arizona. And another big reason for me is that Dustin Pedroia played there. He's one of my favorite players growing up. Small guy, a lot of heart. second baseman for the
Short
Sox.
king.
Yeah, short king. So, I have 4 more then.
Let's see. I listed them. I said.
I will move to
I have more than that. Oh wait, you just did 2.
yeah, because I knocked off Arizona too. You go ahead.
Sticking with Arizona, not Arizona State. I'm gonna go with Grand Canyon.
The Lopes.
Yeah, their stadium, if you haven't seen it, is beautiful. Check it out. I like the colors. My uncle went there.
Mhm.
I think it would be a cool squad to root for.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if right now they're going to be competing for a national championship.
Yeah.
But I think they could be an exciting team. I mean, they
Yeah.
put the smack down on Arizona the other night.
Absolutely. All right. My next one's going to be Bryant, top 25 killer. Sick logo.
Bulldogs, right?
And the Bulldogs. So
Yeah.
those are some of my reasons why. So
I'm gonna go with Tennessee. I love the orange cream, the cream and white.
Okay.
I like their coach a lot, who
Yeah.
I've seen in a few interviews. I like the attitude of the team. They're scrappy.
Mhm.
I just like Tennessee. I
Nice.
think they're not like a historic like favorite in the SEC, so I think they got a lot of heart and
Yeah.
want to scrap their way to the
Got
top.
something to prove.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they were in the World Series last year, so
Yeah. Texas Tech. This is basically just a shout out to Dallas Braden.
yeah.
Go Red Raiders.
So you're saying that they don't have a chance to be your favorite team?
No, they're in my top 10, dude. So I'm saying there's a chance.
You said it's basically just a shout out to Dallas Braden.
Yeah.
My next team is Miami. Mentioned them earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, sunshine, beautiful beaches.
Yep.
I mean, go Canes.
Go Canes. All right. My next one's gonna be Old Dominion. The
Go
Monarchs.
Monarchs.
They have some clean uniforms. I also like their field. It's Kumblaw Field at S.B. Ballard Stadium. And then another reason is
Could you imagine telling someone it's like, oh, where is whatever you just said? Where is that at? And you're like, oh, blah 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 blah. blah, blah.
Plus they accepted me out of high school, so shout out to them.
Word. I'm gonna go with BYU.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Mormons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one reason.
The Cougars, actually. But...
Yeah. I mean, their mascot is either Cougars or Mormons.
Yeah.
So their stadium is beautiful. I don't know if you checked it out.
I'll have to check. It sounds like these Western stadiums are pretty filthy as well.
Mm-hmm. It sits at the bottom of a beautiful mountain. I wish I knew the name of the mountain, which I should probably research if I'm going to pick them as my favorite team.
We'll call it Mount Mormon for now.
Yeah. And Brigham Young University. My name is Brendan Young University.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could either change my name to Brigham Young if they're my favorite team.
You could.
Or they could change their name to Brendan Young University.
I think you should just lock it in.
Yeah. I mean, they're my top 10 for a reason.
Yeah. All right. My last team is LSU, the Tigers. Love the uniforms, and then just go Tigers.
I mean, the yellow and purple, I mean, you can't really beat it.
Yeah, so that rounds out my top 10.
I got 2 more.
Okay.
Do I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10? I have 10. I don't know how you got 2 ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a historic program. They're not at the top of their game right now. You know, this could be a long-term investment, you know.
Yeah.
We're picking these teams and we're locking them in. So, like, you know, 5 years down the road, Oklahoma State might not be where they're at, but the Gamecocks could be.
The Gamecocks.
They could be back.
Yeah.
Also, how sick would it be if you could just be like, go Cox? I could have a shirt that says "Go Cox" and people would be like, "Why are you wearing that?" I'm like, "Go Gamecocks." And Appalachian State.
The Mountaineers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, I saw it. They have a nice stadium.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
And I saw a couple TikToks with some of their players on it.
Seemed like a cool bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that concludes it for today, right?
I think so.
All right. Well, that's episode 1 in the wraps.
Congrats.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Like we said, this episode was a little bit longer. So if you made it all the way through, thank you for sticking with us. Next week, we will be coming out on Tuesday. That will be basically a weekend wrap up. We will go over the top 25 movement. Maybe check out some middle of the week games.
Check out our predictions.
Yeah, see how our predictions did.
Yeah.
Hopefully Alabama pulls one off. So, all right. Well, this was the Omaha Dreams podcast, first episode.
Episode 1.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.